evening. I'm your host, Evie LaRoe. You are listening to the podcast, Oh My Gosh, She is a Tough Cookie, a 6-part series. Episode 1, Why a Board Game? Intro. 3 teachers are sitting around a table, playing a game. This is not any ordinary game. This is a game on how to learn equity in the classroom. The 3 teachers need to decide which task would enable them to gain more responses from the teachers in the elementary and middle school. When they receive their card, if the scenario cannot be solved, no points will be gained and they will not move up the board game. If the teachers are able to use a multimodal strategy, points are achieved and the players can move up to the board game into more equitable levels of comprehension. The game lasts for 2.5 hours. In essence, the players are strategizing 2 school years. Will they be able to achieve equity and inclusive student participation by the end of the 2 years? Issue 3, Support for Teachers. Linda Darling Hammond said, well-educated, knowledgeable, and experienced teachers are the essential elements that make a difference in the academic achievement of students and in the development of a rich curriculum that engages students with diverse interests and backgrounds. Goodman et al., 2014, page 204. The host's proposed research investigates inclusive multiliteracies and multimodal practices through arts-based participatory action research or arts-based and design-based research. The host has not decided which research methodology she will be using. Teachers will engage in a creative meaning-making experience by playing a design-based board game to explore their understandings of gender equity in the classroom. The objective of the game is to gain equity and move up the board using multimodal strategies for scenarios presented in lesson plan cards and classroom management tasks. The rules and scenarios of the game will be established with a committee of educators and stakeholders to ensure an equitable experience. When researching this topic, it became clear that 2 necessary components needed to be investigated: creating the game and playing the game. Creating the game. Creating a board game for research design can be a creative and effective way to engage researchers, and in this case, teachers, in the learning process. Board games provide an interactive and hands-on experience, allowing participants to grasp complex concepts in a practical manner. 3 research questions come from this first component. How does creating a design-based board game explore teachers' understandings of gender equity in the classroom? Sub-question, why a board game? Sub-question, why gender equity? How can a design-based board game engage in collaborative and multimodal practices? How can a design-based board game facilitate the use of inclusive multiliteracies in lesson planning and classroom management tasks? In summary, creating a board game for research design provides a dynamic, interactive, and engaging way for participants to learn and apply essential research methodologies and principles. Component 2, playing the game. Playing a board game designed for research can be incredibly beneficial for teachers in several ways. Incorporating research-based board games into teaching methods can enhance engagement, critical thinking, collaboration, and assessment strategies. By leveraging the interactive nature of games, teachers can create a more effective and enjoyable learning experience for their students. 3 research questions are derived from this component. How does playing a design-based board game explore teachers' understandings of gender equity in the classroom? How does playing a design-based board game to explore teachers' understandings of gender equity in the classroom help model multimodal practices? How does playing a design-based board game to explore teachers' understandings of gender equity in the classroom facilitate the use of inclusive multiliteracies in lesson planning and classroom management outcomes? This episode concludes by pitching the argument that the creation and implementation of a board game can serve as a fun and engaging mode of professional learning for teachers who access equitable strategies in the classroom and multimodal practices. Do you agree or disagree? Thank you for listening. Again, this is your host, Evie LaRoe. I hope you continue to listen to the 6-part series of Oh My Gosh, She is a Tough Cookie. In episode 2, I will do a deep dive into the research questions for creating the game. Stay tuned.